welcome back to my channel. This is the 2020 plan with me as well as the January plan with me. I initially wasn't going to upload this video, but I kind of figured that if I wanted to get back into the swing of things and actually start using YouTube to express myself, I would need to actually start making videos, and I felt like the 2020 plan with me was a good way to go. So here I'm just writing my name down to kind of start off the journal. I'm also going to add some contact details down later, just so that if I do lose the journal, someone can get it back to me. Because it's so late in the year and I figured that most people have already planned their journal, a lot of these videos really cut up and really skipped, just because I didn't feel like I did anything that different to what many other people have done. So here I'm just drawing a kind of quote page, which I don't usually do, so that's why it's very rookie. But I do want to start doing a bit more artistic things, I guess. Here's my year at a glance. I like having a calendar right at the front of the bullet journal, just so I can look back at it whenever I need to, because it's right at the front. But as I was saying before, I do want to try different artistic media. I do want to try different things this year. I feel like I'm very much trapped within my fine line of felt tip kind of vibe, and I want to try different things. So like experimenting with a quote page, which is very shabby, but it's one of the first I've tried. Being a bit more graphic, but then also exploring things like colour pencils, watercolours, maybe even acrylics. Not so much just for the journal, but to really rekindle that and have that in my life as well. This journal is actually different to the one that I bought last year. The one I had last year was 27 by 40 dots, and this is 28 by 41 dots, which is a little bit more difficult to divide. So I'm kind of figuring that out and how to kind of separate the pages up, but I'll definitely get used to it. These are just the different aspects that I want to focus on with my goals. I'm not really good at goal keeping, so I thought that making it a bit more specific might help me actually keep up with them. This is the future log. I made it as simple as possible because I didn't want to draw out the months again, so I just left it at the calendar that we did at the beginning, and this is just to write down any appointments that I have in the future, because I have forgotten so many appointments this year because I didn't write them down properly, the ones that were months in advance. So this should really help me make sure that I don't forget them. This was actually the first year that I've completed bullet journaling. I tried to bullet journal in 2018 and I only did January to March tops. But this year I went from January all the way to December. It was difficult at times to keep up with, especially the weeklies. I find that a little bit difficult for me. So I might have to find new methods of doing that, and it might just be a case of pre-planning all of the weeklies before. But it is helpful for me to organise my time and actually see what task I have to get done. This is just me drawing out a year in Polaroids. I did this last year during summer and I found it so fun to have a collection of them. So I decided to do it for the whole year. I don't really like how this page turned out, but once I start sticking the Polaroids down, I'm going to fix it up, add some washi tape, make it look a little bit more cute. Throughout the year, I have a lot of things that I want to buy, and a lot of them are either related to passion projects that I have, or uni, or just stationery wants that I have. So I kind of listed them all together on this wish list. I do have a section for expensive things that I don't necessarily have a need for right away, especially if it's not related to anything that I wanted to pursue. So for example, something like AirPods We Go Here, I don't necessarily need them, but it is an expensive thing that I could save up for. So it's just to have in mind like the different type of things that I'd want to buy. Because I am learning how to play guitar and I love to learn different songs that I'm listening to, I made this little section which is kind of inspired by Amanda Rach Lee, just a section for songs that I want to learn throughout the year and ticking them off as I go through. So here's the final flip through of the 2020 plan with me. I feel like throughout the year I'm going to be correcting some things in this that I don't particularly like. But for now, this is what I've got going on. Jumping straight into my January plan with me, the theme is Winter Wonderland. So this is the very classic archway from Winter Wonderland, as shabby as it may seem. As I was saying before, this year I really want to experiment with different media. I'm really comfortable with my Crayola Super Tips and they kind of guide me through most of everything, but it would be interesting to try and do some of these themes with different art media. As I was saying before, I've cut a lot of what I've done out of the video just because I didn't want it to be too long. And I didn't feel like I did anything too different compared to what other people have done with their bullet journals. So I'm just adding some snowflakes to match the theme of Winter Wonderland. They are quite simple to draw, but I was finding it very difficult to be creative with it and not draw the same thing again and again and again. So with my monthly, when I used to do it 2 pages, I was never filling them in and it felt like such a waste of space to do that. So now I'm just trying to do it on 1 page and kind of see how that works out. It might just be that I really don't need this spread at all. Another thing that didn't work for me being double-sided was the brain dump, and I have been doing it one-sided for a few months now, but because of how the rest of my monthly is set up, I always had 1 page free, and I didn't really know what to do with it, so it felt like a bit of a waste. So I figured with my calendar being on 1 page now instead of double-sided that I should move the brain dump to the front of the month. So here's where you see what I mean about finding it hard to draw snowflakes. They're supposed to be perfect, these perfect hexagons, and mine are just very wonky, but this is my mood tracker for the month and I thought it would be kind of cute to line the different snowflakes with different shades of blue. So normally I have 5 colours to represent my mood, but I decided let me cut it down to 3 just because I usually stay within the middle 3 moods anyway. And here is just my habit tracker, which I didn't record properly, but also I decided to introduce this thing known as a sleep tracker. I'm only using half a page just to see how it works. I'm not really sure what I'm going to be doing with it, but if I find it effective for me, then I might dedicate an entire page to it. So because I'm on holiday, I don't really have set things that I need to do within each day, but I do have certain tasks that I want to get done before I go back to uni. So I've kind of been liking this weekly where half the page is a to-do list while the other half is a little dedicated area for events. Within my weeklies, I always include a feeling dump just to jot things down, how I'm feeling that week, and it kind of helps me clear my mind a little bit. So here's a final flip through of my January plan with me. I'm probably not going to be doing plan with me's every month, but you should be seeing me soon, hopefully with different content. May everyone's 2020 be joyful and prosperous.